Undoubtedly one of the best and most important things, I think, in life. They are there to keep us balanced and mindful of the people around us. And today we are joined in studio by our certified parent coach, Laura Markovitz, to talk about friendships and specifically the importance of developing friendships when we are younger, what this means for us and how I think as parents that we can help along this journey. Because you need a friend. You gotta have a friend in life. You got a friend in me. You really do.
Break into song.
And it's something that I would think that you can't necessarily teach someone how to make, but that's wrong. You can help a child develop healthy friendships, but why do we need to do this? Why are friendships such an important thing?
It feels instinctively it's a good idea to have a friend or two. Absolutely. But we've got to remember we learn a lot from our friendships. We grow a lot within our friendships. So for young kids, they're learning to share, they're learning to take turns, they're learning social skills through their friendship. They're learning reciprocal laughter, they're learning give and take, all that kind of thing, and it really enhances their well-being. We know that connection is something that is really just good for us. So we should be encouraging friendships, but of course we cannot be controlling them and making sure our children have exactly which friends we want them to be.
I'm just picturing two little dudes at a party like, but it's also, I think it's a connection. I learned as a guy growing up in an all-female family, once you get a best mate, suddenly you know where you sit in the world, you've got kind of common goals, commonalities.
Interests, yes.
So how do we go about fostering this? Because surely friendship does start with how you feel about yourself and how social you are. So how do we kick that off?
So absolutely, self-esteem is quite important, and if I like myself, I'm generally going to be able to connect with people a little bit easier. But as parents, what we can do to encourage that stuff is also how we role play, how we role model in our lives, how we are interacting with people. Our kids are listening, they are sponges.
Be
you
social,
know what it is. Be social, and even if you're interacting with people who aren't necessarily friends, but people in your life, how you speak to them, the pleases, the thank yous, the taking turns, the not screaming and shouting at everybody who crosses your path. Our kids are actually seeing how we're behaving in the world. And then, of course, we can encourage friendships. So we cannot absolutely orchestrate them, but we can encourage them. Set up play dates within the
Creates
community.
An opportunity for
exactly.
It to flourish.
And it doesn't have to just be in a school setting. It can be beyond where our kids have interests, but we can be encouraging them to interact with kids and connecting with kids. So we kind of set it up,
And so that's working off a basis point that all kids kind of will socialize if given the opportunity. What do we do then if we've got a child that maybe is very introverted, which isn't a bad thing, they just like to be on their own, or added to that a child that is really struggling to make friends, and how do we go about identifying what's standing in the way?
And I think that's the thing, is that, for some kids it comes so easily. They're just connecting with absolutely everyone around. But for some, it's a real struggle. So for those kids, we really need to be thinking about how we can help them to get past those struggles. And one of the things that we can be doing as parents is to role play with them. So when we're playing games, helping them understand, I'm not winning, allowing them to win absolutely every single game. Sometimes they've got to deal with the losses and helping them cope with that. Also not minimizing their struggle with making friends, If I just say to them, oh, come on, go out there and be friendly. Come on, just go.
But when last did you just step out and go and make a new friend,
It's hard. So really thinking about how we can equip them with skills to go out there. So things like approaching a group of friends, often seeking out a common interest. So if I go up to a group of kids who are talking about Fortnite or something, and I walk up and I go,
you just have to bring it in. You have to use the F word. Come on, man.
And I walk up and I go, oh, Fortnite's stupid. I'm not going to be really warming myself up to the crowd. So really helping our kids think through how they can actually connect with the crowd, thinking about common interests. Kids connect with commonality, so helping them identify.
And there's always a fad. There is always something to connect us all.
A fad,
I think added to this conversation, there's an opportunity to learn valuable life lessons that you can carry forward, things like conflict resolution, and that's something we're going to touch on in a moment. Laura's going to join us to continue this discussion around helping our children to be in a space where they can make friends and then obviously enjoy the benefits of this incredible relationship.
It's my feel-good breakfast show. Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast show. So good to have your company at the start of a brand new day. And we're back with our parenting expert, Laura Markovitz. Now, earlier on, we spoke about the importance of friendships for the development of your child, especially young people, of course, and how parents can assist their child in making and keeping friends. Now, we're continuing that conversation right now with Laura. And you guys were touching on some very important things. Like, you know, having friends and being able to help your child through those friendship squabbles or fights, that has a greater goal in teaching your child things like conflict resolution.
These are life skills.
So, yeah, these are important things, and I mean, the world would be lovely if we just said there was no conflict, but actually we grow and we learn through conflict well handled. So I just, you know, if we have our kids fighting with other kids, we kind of instinctively want to jump in. What do you mean that happened on the playground? We've got to actually sit back, control ourselves, take a deep breath. Remember, this is their space. Give them the space to actually articulate what happened and how they felt about what happened. So often we will go, I can't believe he did that or she did that, whatever, and we jump in to try and fix and problem solve. But to remember to give them that empathic space where they're able to say, sure, it was rough, you know, what happened at school, I really didn't like it. And then as parents, to help them think through what happened and what's going on with their friends, to remember that we can't necessarily fix it, but to help our children problem solve on their own. So what do you think went wrong? Try see things from different perspectives.
Learn empathy through the process.
Yeah, absolutely. What happened? Why do you think they behaved like that? Why do you think they were doing that or treating you like that? It's really not okay. What are you going to do about it? How do you stand up for yourself? Think through options. Do you go speak to a teacher? I go speak to a teacher.
You got nervous there for a second.
I was like, oh, no, not the teacher, not the teacher. Sent me over the edge. So help them think through how they can problem solve so that, A, they can deal with this specific problem, but also when something next time comes around, how they can sort that sort of stuff out.
Cross-gender friendships. I'm looking back to my old little crew in primary school, and we were quite a well-balanced crew, but it's got to be surely important. Not a girlfriend, because I tease my little one. He's almost 2, and he's got his little girl that he plays with at playgroup. He absolutely loves. I'm like, well, how's your girlfriend?
No, come on, you do that.
I'm putting that pressure on him already.
Jack, I'm sorry.
You've got to have, to fully understand that social dynamic, you've got to have friends across the board. Is this something that you should naturally foster, or will it just kind of happen?
So again, it's not something that we can absolutely control and go, right, I've picked out 3 boys and 3 girls for you to be friendly with. That's not how life works. But I think to
Here's your tutu, go.
To be encouraging it and also to be careful of the stereotypical stuff.
Exactly.
So, you know, when, and I mean, yes, we have a laugh about the sort of girlfriend, boyfriend thing, but to be careful of that sort of stuff as well, because it starts to become very loaded. And we want it to just be a natural thing and for kids to find friends that they connect with and not to be held back because they're sort of crossing...
teased by their father.
Just hypothetically speaking.
When we look at kids these days, I mean, back in our day, geez, when I say that, I feel like I'm so old. But I mean, TV games were a thing, but now it's consoles. So the gaming experience has enhanced, and like you were speaking about Fortnite earlier on. Does playing games on consoles hinder your child from being able to form and maintain good friendships?
So, you know, I think we live in a world that absolutely is changing. And so our kids are online, they are connecting in different ways, and they are connecting. I think it's the big elusive balance thing. And if our children are sitting on a console for 8 hours straight and not actually connecting in real time with real people, not learning eye contact, the sharing, the giving and taking, that's when we start to worry. So absolutely there is a connection that can happen through the games, so we don't want to panic about it, but I think we've got to make sure that there's balance and it's not happening too much so that our kids can experience healthy friendships in real time as well, because that's going to stand them in good stead way beyond sort of just connecting through...
and man, can you lean on a friend, man.
Yeah.
Friends are such a necessity. Laura, thank you so much. Love that.
Thanks.